In a never-seen-before event in history, people from at least 64 countries, along with the European Union, making up about 49% of the world's population, will be voting in national elections in 2024. And Romania is no different. Romania is at a crossroads, gearing up for a series of elections that will shape its destiny at every level, from choosing its presidential and parliamentary leaders to influencing European Parliament representation, and even steering the course of local governance. And these 4 elections are happening in the same year, which makes it even more important. But the outcome of these elections are like pebbles tossed into a vast pond, creating ripples that stretch far beyond Romania and touch the very heart of Europe. Our video today will dig into the details of these elections and their wide-ranging consequences. While the exact outcomes and a clearer picture of candidates remain uncertain, our most reliable analytical tool currently is polls and surveys. Commencing with the presidential elections, it's known that Romania will host these elections in either mid or late November 2024, with an eventual second round set for late November or early December 2024, depending on the initial results. These elections mark the 9th presidential elections in post-1989 Romania. As per the Romanian constitution, allowing a maximum of 2 consecutive or non-consecutive presidential terms, the incumbent president, Klaus Iohannis, first elected in 2014 and re-elected in 2019, is ineligible for re-election. His second and final term is expected to conclude in December 2024. Reports indicate that Mircea Joana, the current NATO Deputy Secretary General, maintains his leading position in voting intentions for the presidential elections in Romania as an independent candidate, according to the latest INSCOP poll. His score has seen a slight increase. Following Joana are Marcel Ciolacu, representing the Social Democrats and Liberals coalition, George Simeon of the Radical Party AUR, Elena Lasconi from the Reformist USR, and Diana Șoșoacă with her own political party. But the upcoming presidential elections will be a key factor in shaping the future direction of Romanian politics. The president, who holds significant power, plays a central role in choosing the prime minister. Moreover, the president is the main representative of Romania and acts as a mediator between different parts of the government and the people.
Therefore, the introduction of a new figure in Romanian politics after Iohannis will be crucial, impacting both foreign policy and the internal workings of the country.
Nevertheless, when turning our attention to parliamentary elections, the situation becomes even more intriguing. As of late, there has been a notable surge in support for the far right, particularly witnessed in Romania. The country's far-right party, AUR, is gaining traction and stands poised to potentially join a government coalition following the upcoming elections. A recent survey conducted by the pollster INSCOP, released in early November, indicates that the current ruling coalition, comprising the leftist Social Democrats, the PSD, and the central-right Liberals, the PNL, may fall short of securing an outright majority in the parliamentary election next year. This predicament for the coalition has arisen amidst challenges in managing the country's public finances, providing an opening for the far right to advance its influence in Romania. According to the INSCOP poll, the ultra-nationalist opposition party, Alliance for the Unity of Romanians, AUR, referred to by the acronym meaning gold in Romanian, is gaining significant support, with 20.2% of voters favoring the party, positioning it ahead of the Liberals. AUR has prominently declared its stand for family, nation, faith, and freedom. Additionally, the party has aligned itself as an anti-corruption force during a period when Romania faced notable corruption scandals, a strategy also embraced by other populist parties in Europe, such as Italy's Five Star Movement. AUR has taken stances against same-sex marriage and has advocated for the unification of the Republic of Moldova with Romania. This political landscape in Romania is drawing attention from various European countries. The European Union is closely monitoring developments not only in Romania, but also in other nations like Spain and the Netherlands. Importantly, the EU possesses mechanisms to intervene if far-right parties in these countries pose threats to democracy or the rule of law. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. The unfolding political scenario in Romania is of particular interest as it directly influences EU elections and political dynamics. The EU elections are scheduled for June 2024, making the outcomes of the Romanian internal elections pivotal in shaping broader European political landscapes. As things stand, AUR is positioned to potentially secure between 8 and 11 members of the European Parliament based on current poll estimates after the EU elections. Following this, the party is likely to form an alliance with Giorgia Meloni's Brothers of Italy. Taking a closer look at the EU elections reveals a fascinating scenario. In June, eligible voters across the European Union's 27-member countries will determine their representatives in the European Parliament, the sole democratically elected institution of the bloc. Despite being a significant electoral event, voter turnout has historically been weak, with many feeling that the EU is distant from their daily lives. Projections suggest a rise in support for Eurosceptic and far-right parties, influenced by recent electoral victories in the Netherlands, Italy, Finland, and Sweden, thereby casting uncertainty over the future trajectory of the EU. The latest polls indicate that the far-right Identity and Democracy group could secure a record high of 87 seats out of the 720-member assembly, potentially challenging the Liberals for the position of the parliament's third-largest party. This could position the far-right as a crucial player, holding a kingmaker role between the main conservative and socialist groups, which, despite ideological differences, often collaborate in a grand coalition to ensure the smooth functioning of EU institutions. Key issues dominating the campaign include an economic downturn in major EU economies, growing discontent in rural areas, concerns about climate change, and migration. Additionally, the election will determine the leader of the next European Commission, with the current president, Ursula von der Leyen, expected to seek re-election, prompting a significant reshuffling of top EU positions. Therefore, if AUR aligns with the far right, it could usher in a shift towards right-wing politics, a more restrictive immigration narrative, and increased Euroscepticism in the EU. The significance of the 2024 Romanian elections extends far beyond national borders, carrying implications both domestically and internationally. Within Romania itself, one potential outcome revolves around the ascension of the far-right party AUR, driven by anti-corruption sentiments and economic uncertainties. This surge could usher in a set of challenges, including authoritarian tendencies marked by restrictions on freedoms of speech and assembly, a crackdown on the judiciary, and erosion of democratic norms. Additionally, AUR's anti-EU and anti-immigration stance may deepen social divisions, heightening tensions among ethnic groups and minorities. Economically, their Euroscepticism and protectionist policies might pose risks to foreign investment and trade, impacting overall economic growth. On the flip side, a continuation of center-left or center-right rule, represented by parties like PSD or PNL, would present a different set of circumstances. This scenario could bring about political instability, characterized by a fragmented parliament necessitating coalition negotiations and frequent changes in government, which may impede long-term policy planning. While there may be some ongoing reforms, tackling deeply ingrained corruption networks could remain a persistent challenge. However, Romania's commitment to European integration and regional partnerships is likely to remain intact under such leadership. The implications of the 2024 Romanian elections extend to the broader European Union and the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. AUR's potential influence could disrupt EU cohesion, with their Euroscepticism possibly aligning with other far-right European parties, thereby weakening the bloc's unity and complicating internal decision-making. Romania holds a crucial strategic position in NATO and transatlantic relations. The unfolding events of the conflict in Ukraine and their potential repercussions on the cost of living in Romania are poised to significantly influence the upcoming elections. Unlike comparable elections in Central and Eastern Europe, the effect on support for Ukraine is anticipated to be relatively minor. This is because both the socialists and liberals in Romania express substantial support for Ukraine, and the elections are not foreseen to exert a substantial impact on the relations between Romania and Ukraine. In conclusion, the 2024 Romanian elections mark a critical juncture with repercussions that reach far and wide. The outcome will not only shape the country's internal trajectory, but will also influence its relations with the EU and neighboring nations. Ultimately, the relations will play a pivotal role in defining the political and security landscape of the broader region. Whether Romania steers towards the allure of populism or opts for stability and integration remains a question that will unfold in the coming electoral landscape. So what are your thoughts on the Romanian elections? Do let me know in the comment section below. And subscribe to our channel for more economic insights. And please do watch our video on the Romanian-Austrian clash.